The Stoics taught us that we should love humanity, but they never said we should trust everyone. There's a difference between compassion and foolishness. Marcus Aurelius himself warned, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." But here's the truth. While you're busy being good, some people are busy pretending to be. And those are the ones who'll destroy your peace if you're not careful. Before we go deeper into this, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Now let's talk about the types of people the Stoics would never trust or respect. Number 1, the ones who speak sweet but act sour. We've all met them. The ones who sound kind, who flatter you with compliments, who make you feel seen, until you realize they were only rehearsing. These are the people who wear masks made of charm, but hide motives carved from envy. Epictetus said, "Be wary of those who speak well of you, for they may be buying your silence." The Stoics knew words are cheap, but actions, those reveal the truth. Trusting people like this is like pouring water into a cracked cup. No matter how much you give, it leaks. These people will praise you when it benefits them and vanish when you need them. You'll notice their smiles fade when you succeed, and their advice always sounds suspiciously convenient for them. The Stoic way isn't to hate them, but to see them clearly. Let your actions weigh heavier than their words. When someone praises you too easily, test their loyalty in silence. Watch how they behave when there's nothing in it for them. That's when truth speaks louder than charm. And if you ever find yourself thinking, maybe I'm being too harsh, remember, Marcus Aurelius didn't invite everyone to his dinner table either. Even the Emperor of Rome knew, you can love humanity, but still lock your door at night. Number 2, the ones who thrive on chaos. Some people don't want peace, they want problems. Their energy is loud, dramatic, and draining. They gossip, they argue, they make everything about them. You try to stay calm, but they drag you into storms you didn't even cause. These are the emotional vampires of your life, feeding on your reactions. A Stoic doesn't waste energy on chaos. Seneca said, "He who suffers before it is necessary, suffers more than necessary." These people make you suffer unnecessarily. They'll call it just venting, but notice they never want solutions, only sympathy. They enjoy conflict because it gives them attention, and the moment you walk away from their noise, you become cold or arrogant. The funny thing is, they'll always claim to be the victims. Even if they start the fire, they'll swear they were only holding the match. You can't reason with them. You can only distance yourself. Silence becomes your shield, and indifference becomes your sword. Remember, peace is not something you find in others. It's something you protect from others. If someone constantly brings drama into your life, that's not their nature, it's their habit. And your job is to break that habit before it breaks you. Number 3, the ones who betray for convenience. Nothing reveals character like temptation. Some people are loyal until something better comes along. They'll stand by you when it's easy, but when it costs them comfort, they'll disappear. These are the people who make promises with their mouth, but break them with their actions. Epictetus said, "When someone shows you who they are, believe it." A person who betrays others for their gain will betray you when the price is right. Betrayal doesn't always come with a knife. Sometimes it comes with a sorry. They'll say it wasn't personal, but to a Stoic, integrity is always personal. If you've ever been betrayed, you know how it feels, like your soul got punched. But the Stoic lesson is not to hate them. It's to learn. Every betrayal teaches you who not to trust, who not to follow, and who not to become. And here's the humorous side. Betrayers often think they've won something. But in the grand game of life, they lose the one thing they can't buy back, their reputation. You can rebuild wealth, but not trust. Once broken, it's gone forever. Number 4, the ones who never take responsibility. You can't reason with people who are allergic to accountability. They'll blame the economy, their childhood, their ex, their zodiac sign, anything but themselves. To them, everyone else is the problem, and they are the misunderstood victim. The Stoics despised this mindset. They believed self-responsibility is the root of freedom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But people who never take responsibility live in constant weakness. They react, complain, and expect others to fix what they broke. If you trust these people, you'll always end up cleaning up their mess. They'll ruin something, then act surprised, as if life just happened to them. The Stoic response? Don't fix what someone refuses to learn from. Step back. Let them face their consequences. And for a touch of humor, if someone says, "It's not my fault," more than twice a day, it probably is. Number 5, the ones who pretend to be wise. In the age of social media, everyone's a philosopher until real life tests them. These are the people who post quotes about peace, but can't handle criticism. They'll talk about energy and self-love, yet gossip behind closed doors. Stoicism warns us about false wisdom. Those who speak like sages but act like fools. Real wisdom is quiet, not performative. Seneca said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." If someone constantly talks about how wise, humble, or spiritual they are, that's your first red flag. Wisdom doesn't need a microphone. It speaks through composure, not captions. You'll know them by their reactions, not their words. When challenged, they get defensive. When corrected, they get offended. The Stoics would smile and move on, knowing that pretending to be wise is easy. Living wisely is hard. The truth is, a truly wise person doesn't need to prove it. They let life do the proving. And if someone brags too much about their wisdom, just nod and say, Socrates 2.0, and keep your peace. Number 6, the ones who disrespect in disguise. They joke about you, but somehow it never feels like a joke. You laugh awkwardly, but deep down, something stings. These are the people who use humor as a weapon. They'll say, "Relax, I'm just playing," while cutting deep enough to leave a scar. The Stoics would call this what it truly is, disguised hostility. Marcus Aurelius taught that we should avoid people who pollute our character. Disrespect doesn't always come in shouting or insults. Sometimes it wears a smile. And if you keep tolerating it, they'll mistake your peace for permission. You can love someone and still refuse to be their punchline. Stoicism reminds you that your dignity isn't up for debate. You don't have to fight disrespect with anger, just silence. Because nothing frustrates a mocker more than a calm man who refuses to play his game. And here's the funny part. When you finally stop laughing at their jokes, they'll say you've changed. Well, yes, it's called self-respect. Number 7, the ones who are kind only when watched. You'll see them helping others, but only when someone's recording. They'll donate, volunteer, or give advice as long as they get recognition. When the cameras are off, the kindness vanishes. The Stoics had a word for this kind of hypocrisy: vanity. Seneca wrote that the best virtue is the one unseen. He believed doing good should bring peace, not attention. But some people aren't after goodness, they're after applause. They don't serve others, they perform for them. If you trust people who act kind only for approval, you'll eventually realize their loyalty is conditional too. They'll stand by you when it looks good and walk away when it doesn't. Real kindness is quiet. It doesn't post, it acts. And next time someone brags about their good heart, just smile and think, even a mirror reflects light, but it doesn't produce it. Number 8, the ones who compete with their friends. A true friend celebrates you. A fake one compares. These are the people who clap when you succeed, but you can hear the envy in their hands. They'll copy your ideas, outdo your goals, and subtly turn everything into a contest. Stoicism warns us about the danger of ego, and envy is ego's ugly twin. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not waste time on what others do or say, but focus on what you can control." Competing with your friends is a race with no finish line. Everyone ends up exhausted, and no one ends up fulfilled. The Stoic approach? Don't compete, contribute. Surround yourself with people who want you to win even if they lose. Those who are secure in themselves will never see your light as a threat, but those who envy will try to dim it. And let's be honest, if a friend only checks up on you to compare achievements, you don't need a friend. You need a fence to keep them out. Number 9, the ones who fear silence. Ever met someone who can't sit quietly? They always need noise, drama, or distraction. They talk just to fill the space, afraid that silence might reveal something real. Stoicism finds wisdom in stillness, but noisy souls run from it. Epictetus said, "Silence is a lesson learned through suffering." People who fear silence often fear themselves. They avoid reflection because it shows them what they've been hiding. If you trust these people, you'll drown in their noise and forget your peace. They'll call you boring for being calm, distant for being peaceful. But the truth is, peace feels uncomfortable to the chaotic. They can't handle quiet because quiet exposes emptiness. The Stoic, however, finds clarity there. So when someone mocks your calmness, don't argue. Just smile and say, "I'm not bored, I'm just not desperate for sound." Number 10, the ones who always play the morally superior. They think they're always right. Every conversation turns into a sermon, every disagreement into a lecture. They look down on everyone else, all while claiming to be humble. The Stoics would have laughed at them. True virtue, after all, never needs to announce itself. Seneca said, "A wise man does not shout wisdom, he lives it." The self-righteous love to correct others but never correct themselves. They demand respect but give none. They believe their version of good is the only one that matters. The Stoic doesn't argue with the arrogant. He observes, because arrogance feeds on attention. The moment you engage, you've already lost your peace. Let them preach, you practice. Let them talk, you act. Silence has a funny way of winning arguments it never joins. And if you ever meet someone who insists they're more evolved than you, just remember, even a rooster thinks it makes the sun rise. At the end of the day, Stoicism teaches discernment, not distrust. You don't close your heart, you simply guard it with wisdom. Trust is sacred, and not everyone deserves access to it. Respect those who live by principle, who mean what they say, and say what they mean. Never feel guilty for walking away from people who endanger your peace. The Stoics understood, protecting your soul isn't selfish, it's essential. And if you've met some of these types lately, maybe the universe isn't punishing you. Maybe it's training your judgment. If this video gave you clarity, give it a like, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom, and remember, not everyone deserves your respect, but you should always respect your peace.